Law Enforcement Public Service Safety Committee to orders, and as soon as I find the agenda. First thing we're going to do is approve the minutes from the September 17th, 2019 meeting.
So moved.
I guess I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, discussion items. Update on renovation at the Oconee County Sheriff's Department office. That's Chief Davis.
I'm Chief Davis, Chief Deputy Davis, Oconee Sheriff's Office. Just want to give you a brief update on the renovations. That's how far along we are, and about a rough estimate on how much further we have to go. As you can see on our photos here, we've come a long way in the past couple of months. All the electrical work's put in, the duct work, the heating and air systems, sheetrocks just has got finished. All the roughing in there. They also have put in the door frames, and we'll be starting to paint this coming Monday. Paint the walls. And this, you can see some of the progression. This is squad room where the actual fire occurred at. They're getting it remodeled pretty quickly. Once they get the floor and all clean, it's going to look totally different. You can see some of the hallways in there where the sheetrock's been finished on it. And this is one of the supply rooms where they're finishing up the sheetrock on it. Like I said, they'll be starting Monday to paint the walls. Once they get the walls painted, they'll be coming in and putting in the drop-down ceiling. And they anticipate once they get the drop-down ceiling put in, having them come in for 2 or 3 weeks and putting in all the fixtures, light fixtures, the storefront, the windows, the outside doors, electrical things like the fire alarm system and our access control system that allows employees in and out of the building. So a total, hopefully, if everything goes well, we're looking at about 8 more weeks. We've already picked out the flooring, and we're getting quotes now on furniture to put in the building once the renovations are complete. So we're getting there, and hopefully everything stays on schedule. It'll be about 8 more weeks. If y'all have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Sounds good, Kevin.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Discussion regarding, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Don't even ask me to. Program. Stephen Turner.
My name is Stephen Turner. I'm actually the pastor of Salem United Methodist Church, and we wanted to bring some information to y'all as to something that we are bringing to Oconee County and Pickens County in May. What we're bringing is Salkehatchie, is the word that you were looking for. Salkehatchie started back in 1978 with Reverend John Culp down in Hampton, South Carolina. He was the pastor at Hampton United Methodist, but he was also a firefighter. And one day he responded to a fire which 3 little girls tragically passed, and it was all because of a little 99-cent outlet had gone bad and caught the house on fire. When he saw that, a light went off in his head that he wanted to help, and he wanted to help in the community. So what he did is he had 40 of his youth at his church to go and work on people's homes, and the goal was to make the homes warm, safe, and dry. Well, since 1978, we have worked on over 6,000 homes. We have, on average, we spend almost $1 million a year, and we have 48 camps across the state of South Carolina. Majority of these camps are in the Midlands and in the Low State, and we have very few camps in the Upstate. What's so unique about these camps is we utilize our youth high school and college age to do a lot of the work. So it's a two-part mission for us. Is one, we're going on work on people's homes to make them warm, safe, and dry. But at the same time, we are ministering to the kids and to the youth by showing them what love truly is, and they get to experience that love through action. This year, for the first time, we're bringing Salkehatchie as I said, to Oconee County. May 16th through May the 23rd, we will be staying at Keowee-Toxway State Park at their new Camp Cedar Creek. We will be having right around 45 people, and since we're doing it in May, we're actually more gearing towards college kids. And with having those college kids, it's a unique atmosphere because most camps are high school and college. But with having 47 other camps in the state of South Carolina, we didn't want to compete trying to get high school kids to leave their other camps, so we decided to go towards college. So we'll be working on 4 different homes. We've already identified one, which is here in Walhalla. We have another one that's going to be more to Mossy, and then 2 in Pickens County. Some of the needs that we've seen in the past or where we can get help, especially with this being public safety, is we really like to see the sheriff's deputies just kind of, swing by once or twice, just kind of seeing what's going on, because we have had instances in the past where someone sees young girls working, and they've kind of chased after our young ladies. Then we also, our fire departments have opened up their ice machines so we could get ice, just different kind of things. But today, I just want to bring this information to y'all that we're coming into this county in May to make these homes warm, safe, and dry. Do you have any questions or anything?
Just want to commend you, because this what you're doing is what we need in the community. What you're doing is actually serving the people that live here, the people that need. And you're doing a great job. If we'd spend more time and effort on programs like yours and not on the bicycle race or the other junk, we would be better off, because actually what you're doing is saving lives, is what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And showing, and possibly breaking the cycle of poverty. And I commend you for that.
Thank you. One thing, if I can add, is we'll be utilizing churches all across the county. And what we do is majority of all food is actually donated via the churches. And the churches we'll go to the churches for lunch during the day. And then we're asking churches to bring food to us in the evenings. So we're going to the churches, one, for food support, because food is very expensive, but if churches are willing to also help donate money, because we'll spend probably anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 in that 1 week that we're there. So,
Mr. Turner, I'd like to thank you too. That's a great program, and thank you for your time and effort in organizing it up here.
yes, sir. I've got a flyer if I can pass out. What it is, we have our website, but we actually had a documentary done several years ago, and you can actually go on YouTube, and it actually explains a lot more in detail of what we'll be doing.
Yes. If I may, Mr. Chairman, Mr. McCall,
Sure.
you did mention that you are working in a home here in Walhalla. As you know, the county office here in Walhalla is a center of the community here in the city limits, and we have an ice machine that you're welcome to come use during business hours, and if you need anything, I'll give you my cell phone before you leave, and you just give us a buzz when you're here, okay?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's really cool.
All right, the next up is discussion regarding Joseph Sullivan Center expansion in Oconee County. And we just had a meeting, myself, David, and John. You want to summarize the meeting? Because I come in late. Or let John do it?
I'll let Ms. Brooke do it.
I would be happy to do that. So as you all know, the Joseph F. Sullivan Center has been housed in the former DHEC/Health Department building located at 200 Booker Drive here in Walhalla since about 2012, operating a reduced or free health clinic and providing assistance through their educational program for healthier living. Years ago, they had a contract with Seneca Family Lakes to do prenatal care for undocumented or uninsured early out of wedlock or in wedlock mothers with a focus on minorities. The Seneca Health Family Residency Practice has since not continued that program, and Prisma Health has picked it up. Since the need for healthcare and its expansion in Walhalla, specifically in this area, for a sliding scale health benefit and for the provided instruction for future LPNs and RNs has also expanded. The county has looked into the feasibility, along with Mr. McCall, our chairman here, and Mr. Elliott, into expanding the services that were able to be provided out of the building here. After the meeting today, and a kind of a short list of mostly cosmetic items, a couple major items, we have discovered that the county can make the upgrades to the facility for $125,000 or so, utilizing as much inmate labor as possible, also utilizing county staff when possible, and still continuing to seek donations for this. We believe that this would be a good benefit to the community of Walhalla. It could be a pilot program that we could start in other communities. But since they're already housed here, we would like to see how this particular start works since they were based here prior. We have some legwork to do on the legal side with an MOU or lease or whatever. Everything we have now is currently expired, and we all knew that. But it's consistent with the use that it was approved of before.
All right, here's a few things I've gone over before, and I'm going to go over them again, and I'll go over them again at the council meeting. We have 7,000 veterans in this county. For a veteran, in this group, we're assigned to the Anderson Clinic. We get a cold, pneumonia, whatever. It takes 30 days to get to that clinic. 30 days. VA's not dragging their feet, they're that backed up. We got county employees. The deputy sheriff says the deputy sheriff signs on age 21. Age 46, he retires. He's got to wait till he's 65 to draw Social Security so he can get any kind of health benefits. This fills the gap for county employees. The other gap we have is the mills. Avondale, West Point, Stevens, they all went out of business. When they go out of business, the assets are bought. When the bill goes out of business, files for bankruptcy. The assets are bought. You buy the assets, you raid the retirement and the health care accounts. It's all legal. It's nothing illegal about it. It's done all the time. These people need health care. We got average county employees. We got people off the street. You go to the hospital, show up in the emergency room, you ain't got health care. So, yeah, they'll see you, no problem. You get a bill in the mail. You don't pay the bill, they put a lien on you, lien on your property. Thomas Alexander said, and he confirmed this, they could also attach your state income tax return. All legal. We got to watch out for the people that put us in office. It's not just, and I get sick and tired of hearing, well, all the people use the clinic are the Mexicans. I am tired of this. It's for everybody. And just because you speak Spanish, why should you be discriminated against? You going to discriminate against me because I speak Spanish? Huh? So it's for everybody. We got to look at everybody as equal. Everybody deserves the very best health care. Once again, we break the cycle of poverty. We're going to offer behavioral health service, nutrition. So it's nothing but good going to come out of this. Anybody else?
I agree with you, Wayne, absolutely. And we already started a pilot program up in Salem. I think she said Thursday, we're going to bring a mobile unit. The Sullivan Center is going to be a mobile unit. So, and Westminster's looking into it too, so.
And John, you need to be applauded for that mobile unit in Salem. You helped a lot. Okay.
So on that
Go
one,
ahead.
I'm sorry,
Go
I'm so
ahead.
sorry.
No?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
I agree with, talking about expansion of healthcare. There is some rumors going around that I'm against the Joseph F. Sullivan Center. That is absolutely not true. I'm absolutely in favor of expanding Joseph F. Sullivan. My thing is information, which we've gotten. I appreciate the two of y'all and staff that have taken the time out to go up there and look at ways that we can work together to expand that. I think it's a great program. I've enjoyed learning a lot more about what they do up there. And so I'm in favor of what you're doing. So if I can, I would like to make the motion to refer to council that we would allot what is stated on here that y'all have worked on today. The estimated cost of $110,000 as we see fit. Okay. John, you jump in.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All right. The next thing is, we got time, right?
Oh, yes, sir, we have plenty of time.
Time coming out of our ears now. All right, upgrade recycling in the county. The thing is, there are other counties are moving a little bit quicker than we are. There's a guy, I got word of this last week. There's an engineering student, well, he's not a student, he's an engineer now, graduated from Clemson University. And he is working with Pickens County, and they're getting their glass grinding program off the ground. Apparently this kid, when he got out of college, rather than sit around, he hit the ground running. They said he is a go-getter. I talked to several people over there. They're equipment manufacturers. That's you get information from them. And they're going around now trying to buy glass. They've been in contact with Horry County, which is as far as I'm concerned, the glass grinding capital of South Carolina. Them guys grind anything. So anyway, the other counties are moving ahead. The one thing I would like to bring up, Ms. Brock, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we don't get our dirty MERV or whatever we're going to do put in, and another county next to us puts it in, do they bump us out of the, what was that DHEC said, is a radius or something?
There's the radius. Generally, those are not for MRFs. Those are for landfills. You may have a MRF in anything. You don't have to provide a demonstration of need for a MRF, whether it be clean or dirty.
I stand corrected then. Okay, what have you come up with so far, Ms. Brock?
I'm sorry, sir. I was not prepared to present anything
I'm
this
sorry, I
evening.
apologize to you.
No, that's okay. I saw it on the agenda, time permitting, and I'd meant to ask you what exactly we were looking for here. I'm unsure where we're going, but I'd be happy to take direction.
Well, no, you're looking at equipment, I know that.
We are looking at equipment. We actually borrowed a couple of other counties' specs for their glass grinding equipment, and the Big Blue is one of the ones that we're looking at right now, but we need to write the specs and do an RFQ. As you all know, this is the same timing we have come into getting some money in the capital vehicle replacement plan. So with an office of two in procurement and a staff that we are thinly stretched as it is sometimes for purchasing large pieces of equipment. And I told Mr. Elliott earlier, and I think this is a great time to say it again, we've been working on the budget for the past several days, and having not to worry about where we're funding the capital vehicle equipment has been such an incredible blessing to us. But yes, we have looked at equipment. We've watched videos, but we want to get our specs right. We want to make sure that any investment the county makes, and that we want to make sure we learn how to operate it, and if it takes time for us to do that, we just want to know everything going into it. So when you spoke with someone at Pickens County, I happened to hear through the grapevine that a friend of mine that used to be a county employee here is now their public works director. Would it be okay with the county if we maybe took a field trip over and looked at it?
Yeah. The one I've been talking to is Case Equipment. Robbie Irwin was Case, and now Case is the guy that owns Case. He's split off. They got an environmental equipment section where they sell all this stuff, and he's heading that up.
He's had what?
You remember Robbie Irwin? He sold the loader out there. He was with Case Equipment Company. Well, the Case Equipment is because the demand for recycling is so great, they've got a whole nother division. They moved Robbie from equipment sales over to the something environmental.
Mm-hmm.
He done my shop the other day, had all this green writing all over a brand new pickup truck, wrapped in, there's a Case truck. But they selling this. There's another guy in Easley that also works for them. That's the factory rep for the sorting garbage sorting guy. As far as Pickens County, I talked to their head of solid waste. Not Hurst. It's I got his name in the shop, and he's a go-getter. He said y'all not be burying nothing. He said y'all you can reuse every bit of it. And he's good friends with the guy over at Horry County, our 85% boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, looks good. We just got to keep plugging along.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yeah.
So I'm part of a group with Pickens County, Anderson County, Abbeville County, and Greenville County. And in our last meeting, it's usually just 2 council members, and we were talking, one of the things we were talking about was solid waste, and things that we can do together, that would, I guess, have long-term, positive gains for all the counties. So as you know, Greenville County has their massive landfill.
Twin Chimneys.
Abbeville has their newer one that they've had. And, I talk a lot with Pickens County as well. None of them have talked anything about any kind of unit like we're talking about doing, which is a good thing, because the amount of trash needed to keep anything like this running is substantial. It's more than a single county. It's actually more than 2 counties. But Abbeville, I know, has reached out to us about moving our trash to there. And I have spoke about, just because we can bury trash doesn't mean it's the best thing and the right thing that we should be doing moving forward, which is why I'm in favor of looking at options. But from discussion of those counties, none of them have brought up anything about a dirty MRF or incineration plant or anything like that. So they would be interested if we decided to go that route in looking at ways that we can work together that not only is better for the environment, but better for all counties together. So that's been a good group, and I'll continue to move that forward. We spent probably an hour and a half talking about those issues.
Well, we can either do it here and they pay us, or they can do it and we pay them. That's
Right.
the way business works.
Yep. So, and trash is a growing problem. We talked about plastic recycling. Glass recycling has been an issue for everybody. I think Greenville quit doing it last year. I think they've started back, but they quit doing the glass recycling because they couldn't figure out what to do with it. But plastics has been an issue because nobody's buying the plastics. The metal and the cardboard, corrugated cardboard, is what everybody's purchasing, and that's what their focus is on, and that's where their most return is. So we talked a lot about what we can do for plastics. Seemingly that seems to be the number one thing everybody's producing. And so those are some things that we've talked about with on the state legislation side of things, from anything from the plastic bags, which is an absolute disaster for grinders. We've been talking a lot about a simple plastic bag. The guys have to actually get inside the grinders and cut the plastic bags out. They, because of the polymer that they're made of, they're just, apparently when they wrap around this machine, so they're in there burning it out, cutting it out. And so I've been talking a lot with Senator Alexander about, is there something we can do with this style of plastic bags? So he is reaching out to a few people that take bulk trash, such as Abbeville and Greenville County, and was unaware of the issues that those are causing, because plastic bags is one of the number one things I see on the side of the road as well. But they're causing major issues because you can't recycle them unless you put them in the boxes at the grocery stores.
Now, what you do is, the Chinese and everywhere's got down, on the Dirty Murph side, what we're looking at is what's in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Virginia. Put them in line, you go down, the first thing, you create a static charge on the old bag. You got different vacuum hoods across the belt, pull them off that way. And I asked Mrs. Chin and also some people from Malterra, what do you do with the bag? It says grind it down, and they got grinders for those things, and pelterize it. Then you can reuse it. Depending on what number, I can't remember what number is this. It's not 2, is it 2?
Bags?
Yeah, is it bag 2?
4.
4?
They're low-density polyethylene mixings. They deteriorate, but they do not biodegrade.
Right.
It's more of a fiber than a pressed material. Like this is a pressed material and then blown. Plastic bags are more of a fiber.
And you can take the bottle and you grind it, chip it down and reblow it.
So Pickens County they have a person buying the certain colors of glass. That's
We
what they're
sell
doing.
our glass right now still to strategic materials, and DHEC tells us we're getting more per ton than anywhere in the state that is not in authority.
Well, strategic, I guess that's the same.
Strategic
Roy
materials.
Costner, I just sent him a text and just asked what they're doing, and apparently whoever buys ours is also buying theirs. And he
Strategic
said it was
materials
more
is
profitable than
It is.
looking at a grinder, which they have looked at a grinder, but they're not grinding glass in Pickens County right now.
And they're not
This
grinding glass yet?
engineer, what this engineer's done, this is private. And he's got, what he did was, he established the markets where he's gonna market stuff at, similar to the markets in Horry County. You know,
Now, the
this-
difference I believe in us in Horry County though is they have, and I went back and read everything I could because they are successful. They really are. I mean, they're a model.
Oh, yes, definitely,
They're an
can't argue
absolute
with that.
model, but they're a solid waste authority. And if we're gonna form they control what every city inside of the county does, meaning that they say to Myrtle Beach City, hey, we don't, and probably they say it nicer than this, but we don't care if it costs you $60 million. You're going to recycle the following.
That's
They
what it's
have-
coming down to.
They have some mandates and some rules. I don't know that we're ready to have that conversations with our municipalities here. I mean, the enormous financial responsibility it would be on each of the municipalities to either buy a sorter truck or for us to charge them for the waste that they're bringing us now. I mean, when we had the discussion about the solid waste and we did the evaluation of the different types of waste processing materials and facilities when was that, November?
Yes.
So, looking at our waste close, we control 11%. Oconee County Man Convenience Centers and Oconee County operations brings in about 11% of the total waste stream of 45,000 pounds or so per year. If we can only control 11%, even if we controlled 100% of the 11%, it's still only 11%. When we look at municipal solid waste coming from the municipalities, and I'm not sure we're ready to have that conversation. If anybody's ready, we can have it. But we would need to either form an authority to where we get a portion of the waste. We would have to mandate some recyclings. And that means for anything, like for instance, right now, I'm not throwing any city under the bus. I hope I'm not saying anything that's going to offend anyone. But in studying the solid waste thing, I realized that it's almost like an onion. You peel a layer, it looks the same. You peel another, it looks the same. There wasn't a whole lot of difference in what we were seeing. What we really saw, though, was that cities have the opportunity to go and get out of municipal limits, customers, which we don't have to handle, that saves us some money there. But at the same time, nobody's paying extra to go to the transfer station or to the landfill. So we're not going to be able to fund a source without looking at where it's coming from. We either need to have a pay-as-you-throw or create a solid waste authority. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars a year, which we already invest in solid waste. And I say invest, I should say landfill. But if we want to keep going with that, and I know all of us do, we'll keep working on plans to do that. But one of the things we'll have to do is find the delicate balance. And it has to be a delicate balance because we can't one day decide to make a mandate that would put the cities out of business and they wouldn't be able to pick up trash anymore, because then it would fall back on us. You know, I mean, we all need to sit down and work on this together, I believe.
Well, you know, Pickens County, at first, they lost their C&D field. That was plugged up when they tried to tear down Central Concrete and Plaster, had a place to dump it. Then their garbage dump filled up. So then they made a contract with Twin Chimneys in Greenville. And everybody in the recycling business, everybody, Alterra, even Carolina Plastics, all of them tell you, you can't keep saying, it's like the commode. As long as the commode flushes, everybody's happy.
Oh, yeah, and I don't think anybody here is saying that.
But then when it backs up, it's your number one priority in your house, and you don't care if you gotta pay the plumber $1,000. You want that thing unstopped.
And for Pickens County, they're very, very, very lucky in a way. I mean, it would be a detriment and a horrible thing if that happened to us in Oconee County, but R&B landfill, and I know this is not where we want to go, but their lifespan is another, 35 years or something. Abbeville has 112 acres, I think, permitted right now. If worst case scenario happened, we would have an alternative. The one thing I did learn in the past couple months, though, is that Twin Chimneys is cheaper than recycling because it's, $11.27 a ton versus $30 a ton to recycle anything. When you're looking at it strictly from a financial standpoint,
But sooner or
Very
later,
hard
the
to
federal
justify.
government's gonna get us. The federal
well, that's
government.
why I said it may be better for us just to have a conversation with everybody who's contributing to the waste stream in Oconee County. And that includes businesses and industries. I mean, this will have to be a baby step at a time. If we're gonna do it right, we need to make sure that who we have at the table is willing to participate and is willing to say if a challenge is just too great to meet for whatever their realm is.
Because Georgia, right now, we're taking all our electronic stuff, because Georgia's got it in the legislature, the EWaste ban, same as South Carolina. And I talked to that guy in Horry County, it was, you gotta ban the stuff up, put it on pallets, and you can take it down to, they sent it down to Sally, which is the old military, where they used to destroy military electronic stuff, and it's gone private now. You gotta pay them rascals $400 a ton.
We can recycle a lot of ours still.
So if Georgia passes us, then we're gonna have signs up at all our convenience centers, no electronics. You gotta put it on the pallet.
Or specific electronics, it's not.
No, anything,
Yeah.
computers,
But the effectiveness of
TV
signs
sets.
at convenience centers is about as effective as a piece of paper from stopping me running out the building. I mean, we've said no paint since 1989, and we still get containers of paint.
Oh, yeah, the problem with our convenience centers, and those guys are doing an excellent job.
They absolutely
You
do.
got two guys there, or one guy there, his back's turned, and while his back's turned, you got these people go up there, throw big old wads of cardboard in the household garbage. Then the poor guy's got a girl got to get a stick with a hook on it and hook it out to get it out of there. And we're under, the solid waste people, they're doing an excellent job. But they can't have eyes everywhere at once.
I know. Trust me, I know. You would not believe some of the things I have heard go in compactors.
And those poor guys, especially with one I go to, you look down there, you go through your household garbage, I got my bag kind of small, you go throw it in, you see cardboard, TV boxes, everything in there, and the poor guys out there with a pole pulling it out. Then they take the household garbage and throw it in the cardboard. Then they gotta get the old pole and hook that out of there. It's coming down to a point where you said solid waste authority, it's gonna be, who's that Russian czar? He said he's gonna drag Russia into the 19th century kicking and screaming. And that's basically what we're gonna have here.
I believe that the cities would be interested in having a discussion at some point. Again, I don't think we should take it lightly, and we are slow, I will tell you that. But I've had some experiences with us buying another very large piece of equipment that we've had a lot of comment about, and the next piece of equipment we buy, we're going to be very, very careful about. Very careful.
Well, I think we've done great strides in recycling. I mean, if you look at the numbers and you look at the amount of citizens, and, Strawberry Farm is where I go to, and the recycling line over there is covered up with people recycling. So, for the
And we are
amount of
still number 3
cardboard
in the
that
state.
we've
I'm sorry
done.
to interrupt, but we're still number 3 in recycling in the state.
So,
And that's in the state, not in our class, not in our county size, not in our land mass. That is in the state. We are number 3 in recycling in the state of South Carolina.
but recycling, honestly, is still new to a lot of people. I know that's a funny
It is.
thing to say, but it really is. And I've seen stuff on the internet about our the wonderful world of Facebook, to where Coney County doesn't recycle certain things, and they're all throwing it into here. And that's not true. The amount that we're doing for especially metal and corrugated cardboard, that's where it's at. I mean, there's times to when our plastic is filled and we can't take any more plastic, and unfortunately, we feel like we've wasted people's time in cleaning that out, but that's just the way recycling goes. We've done a really good job. Like I said, we're number 3. And there's a lot of counties that don't even attempt to do the things that we do here. So, I don't want to sit here and put a damper on the great things that our citizens continue to do. Municipality-wise, there's specific areas that's probably a struggle on recycling. It's not easy to recycle, and I think things that we've looked at makes it a little easier if it all comes in a single bag. There's things and machines that we've looked at that have the ability to separate that out. That's not just a person there grabbing plastic bottles out. But I do think that I agree with you on one thing, though. The federal government's really got to sit back and think about the amount of plastic that's being produced in the United States. And if nobody's recycling it and it's not breaking down, what do we do with it? So, because just a plastic water bottle can also be a canned water bottle. That's something that we maybe need to harp on and think about. If we can't get rid of it and the environment can't digest it, why are we still producing it?
Ms. Brock, look at your water bottle on your thing. It says on the side, it says certain states have, a deposit on that bad boy.
It does. Let's see. New York, Connecticut, and Maine. Well, you're testing my reading here. So this particular bottle came from Tennessee, even though it is Crystal Geyser CG Roxanne. But yes, 5 cents in each of the 3 states.
All right. Then why is it in South Carolina, why can't our legislator get and say, look here, we drowned it in the garbage, can't just keep pushing it like sweeping dirt under the rug. Why can't we do this in South Carolina?
Well, there may be that those aren't legislative matters. It may be that there are companies out there that are doing the deposits in certain areas.
Well, I guarantee you one thing, there's 5 cents on that bottle, you could bet you wouldn't see none of them things on the side of the road.
Now, you also pay more for the bottle up there in those states as well. So
But it's the same bottle.
we have more land, I guess, to put trash, is I guess what they're saying, which is not
It is, and
necessarily.
that is the sad truth of solid waste in a lot of ways.
Again, it doesn't make it right.
It is a sad truth.
I don't want to beat the dead horse, but we're doing good things in recycling.
We are, and we're going to keep doing good things. I just think that slow and easy steps is probably the right direction to go without us doing a large disservice to the cities, because that impacts citizens too, and if the cities told us they can't afford to do A, B, C, or D, then we need to either figure out how to help them do that, or say, okay, well, A, B, C, or D may not be possible, but A and D is, or B and G is. We just need to make sure we're hearing the voices of the people that are collecting the majority of the waste that we're handling. Like, again, we're capped at our 11% mark. And beyond that, it's a conversation that needs to be had with more than just us.
But see, you got all this plastic in the ocean. You say where it come from. Well, the cruise ship, we're environmentally friendly. We got the cruise ship. The cruise ship has this thing that most people don't know about called demulsifier. It's after the engine room, and while the ship's running at night, take all the garbage down there and grind it up, throw it out under the water line. That's what that ground up plastic is up in the ocean. 10 years ago, I was in Bay of Pacific. They discovered oil down there between Costa Rica and Nicaragua, and I was down there looking at a place to tie up some boats, and it's uninhabited, whole Bay of Pacific, and that beach was that thick with bottles, and all of it, and the bottle did have Spanish labels on it. They had an English writing on there. And so we can't keep, I notice it's not applied to county, the worldwide, we can't keep throwing this stuff out. We just can't do it. And if a little county like Oconee County could grab the bull by the horn and say, look here, we gonna make a stand here. We gonna start doing it. Like Horry County did. Everybody looks to Horry County. Oh, look at what they doing. They 85%. Look at Horry County. So, we got a chance to say, well, in the western part of the state, we gonna make a stand. The metal ain't no problem. Getting rid of scrap metal ain't no problem. You got Honeycutt, you got everybody buying scrap metal. So, but plastic, and another thing we gonna have with the plastic. In Pennsylvania, they got two of them online. They got these reactors. The reactors of making, turning petrol, like Pennsylvania's got a lot of gas, natural gas. So you're cracking the natural gas, you're separating it out, and they're making plastic so darn cheap, this is gonna hurt the recycling thing. I mean, everybody tell you that this is gonna drop the price of virgin pellets, which means we got a problem here, and we got technology adding to the problem. And then on the horizon, we got the federal governments could come up anytime and say, everybody's got to recycle. Well, it's a federal mandate. You can't argue with the feds. They told you you're going to do it. You're going to have to do it. So it's better to be scrambling around. And then, as Ms. Brock knows, whenever you need a piece of equipment real bad, the price always seems to go up.
True that.
For some reason, they find out and they jack the price on us. So we're faced with this. John, what do y'all do in Kiwi Key?
We recycle. And the county's been, with Mrs. Brock's help, the county has put recycling bins for cardboard inside the gates at Kiwi Key, which is, I went up to the convenience center up in Salem the other day. I just want to see the traffic, and the traffic is way down because a lot of people are going up there to recycle the cardboard because you're ordering all this stuff on the internet. And now a lot of that's, the Kiwi Key's going to the places that the county's put out inside the gate. So it's doing a great job.
Thank you. Do you remember a couple of years ago, Wayne, when we had all the trouble with the traffic at number 4 in Salem?
Right.
So when we did the traffic study, what we saw was people throwing away things doesn't take very long at all. Regular household garbage, you throw it in. Recycling, though, you have to put your plastics here, your glass here, your cardboard here, and it takes a little bit longer because we have an elderly population that utilizes that center. So what we did was look at what they were recycling the most and said, okay, well, let's remove those things from the most common. So we went to Kiwi Key. They'd already had their own recycling program, but we've expanded
plastic and glass now.
Right, we've expanded yours, and Mark has been great to work with. So then we decided, okay, we're going to look and see what the Cliffs throws away, because there's another big user there. So we put them just a cardboard and mixed paper and glass. Not only have we increased our recyclables just in that specific area, but we reduced the traffic problem at the convenience center entirely. I mean, I have not gotten one complaint on a Saturday. Now, pretty weather's coming, and of course, you've got some lake rentals coming over the summer, so it doesn't mean we won't get any complaints. But the traffic flow has decreased by, I think, 31% the last time we counted. And it cost the county literally $1,200.
See, that was well spent.
And and that's it. I mean, we just have to keep looking for ways and involving the people that care about what we're looking for, you know? We're moving forward. It's just slow as molasses sometimes. And I know everybody has this, we have to do something. But we do have to do something. But part of us having to do something means we have to understand the complexity of the problem we're dealing with first.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else got anything they want? John? Jude?
I did want to commend the sheriff and the deputies that were out on 123 with the inmates today cleaning up garbage. It didn't go unnoticed. A lot of people saw the amount of trash that they had in one of the dump trailers that we have. So the deputies out there working with them, picking up trash as well and throwing the bags in there. So I think, 4 or 5. So, I encourage people to get involved in the community. I know we'll have several coming up in the spring, cleanup times in there, because there is a lot of trash on the road. It is true, some of the trash on the road does come from the trucks pulling around. Everybody talks about the Wells Highway area over there, but that is where a lot of people bring their trash. So, it's some things that we need to do as citizens to help out as well, but I appreciate them being out there today and the inmates doing a great job, and I'm sure they enjoyed being outside doing that today. And thanks for the deputies doing that in that program. And is that part of our litter control
It
that
is.
we've got? Okay.
Yes, sir, it sure is. They're out 2 days a week on average, sometimes 3 days a week. They've picked up, I think it was 3 tons or so last year. And so, is Chief Davis still here? Is that about right?
Yeah.
I remember reading that on the annual report. And we are planning on the Greater Oconee cleanup. I don't know the exact date yet. We're looking around the Earth Week to make sure we don't interfere with any other activity that's going on at that time. But we are planning again on the Greater Oconee cleanup. I believe this year we're doing 123 on the easternmost part of the county near Hartwell Village, coming up past, Metromont Road, Old Clemson Highway. I think we'll be out on that area somewhere. And we hope to have a good turnout this year. We've always had a really good turnout for Greater Oconee cleanup.
Is that local inmates or is that state? Does it have to be state? Both. Okay, good. Great. I'm sure they, like I said, I'm sure they enjoyed this beautiful day to be outside. So,
Kevin, how about community service people? Community service, how's that? Is the magistrate sentencing more people to community service now than?
Yeah. The state just revamped their litter control law, which is mandatory community service, at least 6 hours on all litter tickets. So with that, we are anticipating more community service sentences from the magistrates on whenever we're writing those types of tickets. We will see that going up in the future.
Has the magistrates looked at any more about like petty stuff, like small bad checks and stuff like that? Are they doing anything sentencing to that, or is it
I don't believe they can. I believe
outside state guidelines?
Yeah.
Okay.
they shut that down a while back.
Who shot it down?
I believe that court ruling said they couldn't make up their own community service type stuff.
Now, this falls back on the legislature saying, we gotta change the rules.
And it comes down to state laws that are, certain state laws mandate community service, so they don't want local governments going against state laws and things like that.
Yeah, I understand that. It's just, we need more people out picking up trash.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. Anything else? Jay?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We adjourn?